Sylvester Stallone is one of the most recognizable figures in movie history. For decades, audiences around the world have associated his name with determination, resilience, and the refusal to give up. Through unforgettable characters like Rocky Balboa and John Rambo, he became a symbol of perseverance and courage. Yet behind the success, fame, and blockbuster films lies a deeply personal story filled with obstacles, disappointments, and hard-earned victories. Stallone's journey was never a straight path to success. It was a long road marked by rejection, uncertainty, and moments when his dreams seemed impossible to achieve. What makes his story so powerful is not simply the fame he achieved, but the persistence he showed when everything appeared to be working against him. His life serves as a reminder that success is often built on resilience, self-belief, and the willingness to keep moving forward even when the odds seem overwhelming. A difficult beginning. Sylvester Stallone was born on July 6, 1946, in New York City. Complications during his birth affected nerves on the left side of his face, resulting in the distinctive facial appearance and speech pattern that would later become one of his trademarks. As a child, however, these differences often made life difficult. He grew up in a challenging family environment and experienced periods of instability throughout his early years. School was not always easy for him, and he frequently struggled to fit in. Many people underestimated him because of the way he spoke, assuming he lacked ability or intelligence. Yet beneath those challenges was a young man determined to prove that he could accomplish something meaningful. While others focused on his limitations, Stallone quietly developed a strong sense of determination. The hardships he experienced during his youth helped shape the resilience that would later define both his life and career. Chasing an impossible dream. As a young adult, Stallone decided to pursue acting. Despite having few advantages in an industry known for intense competition, he arrived in New York with very little money and no guarantee of success. Auditions were difficult, and many casting directors doubted that someone with his appearance and speech could become a leading actor. To support himself, he worked a variety of jobs while continuing to chase opportunities in entertainment. Life was often uncertain, and there were periods when he struggled financially. Yet he refused to abandon his dream. While many people would have accepted defeat after repeated setbacks, Stallone continued moving forward. He believed that if he worked hard enough and stayed committed, an opportunity would eventually come. That belief became the foundation of his future success. His determination during these difficult years would later inspire millions who saw parts of their own struggles reflected in his story. The birth of Rocky. Everything changed in the mid-1970s, when Stallone found inspiration in a boxing match that captured his imagination. Watching an underdog fighter refuse to quit against a heavily favored opponent sparked an idea that felt deeply personal. He sat down and began writing a screenplay about a small-time boxer who receives an unexpected chance to prove himself. That screenplay became Rocky. The story resonated because it reflected Stallone's own experiences as an outsider fighting for recognition. When producers showed interest in the script, they wanted to buy it, but preferred a more established actor for the lead role. Stallone faced a difficult choice. He could accept a larger payday and watch someone else play the character, or he could continue fighting for the opportunity to portray Rocky himself. Trusting his instincts, he stood firm. Eventually, the studio agreed. It was a gamble that changed his life forever, and became one of the most famous decisions in Hollywood history. From unknown actor to global star. When Rocky premiered in 1976, audiences immediately connected with its message of perseverance and hope. The film exceeded expectations, becoming both a critical and commercial success. It earned multiple Academy Award nominations and won Best Picture, turning Stallone into an international star almost overnight. Suddenly, the actor who had spent years struggling for opportunities found himself at the center of one of the biggest success stories in cinema. Rocky's popularity led to several sequels, each exploring new challenges and victories for the beloved character. Stallone's ability to connect with audiences through themes of hard work, self-belief, and resilience made him one of the most recognizable stars of his generation. More importantly, Rocky became more than a movie character. He became a symbol of perseverance for people around the world. The story proved that determination and courage could sometimes achieve what talent alone could not. The era of action movie dominance. Building on the success of Rocky, Stallone expanded his career and established himself as one of Hollywood's leading action stars. In the 1980s, he introduced audiences to John Rambo, a character who quickly became another cultural icon. Alongside the Rocky franchise, the Rambo films helped define an entire era of action cinema. Stallone became one of the highest-paid actors in the world, appearing in blockbuster films that attracted millions of viewers globally. His movies dominated theaters, and his image became instantly recognizable across continents. Success brought wealth, influence, and opportunities that once seemed unimaginable. Yet despite reaching the top of the entertainment industry, Stallone never forgot the struggles that had shaped him. The lessons he learned during his difficult early years remained with him, reminding him that success could never be taken for granted. Even during the height of his fame, he continued approaching projects with the determination of someone who remembered what it felt like to be overlooked. Facing career challenges. No career remains at its peak forever, and Stallone eventually experienced a period of professional setbacks. During the 1990s and early 2000s, audience tastes began to change, and some of his films failed to achieve the success he had once enjoyed. Critics questioned whether his best years were behind him, and many observers assumed his career had reached its conclusion. For someone who had spent years at the top of Hollywood, the experience was undoubtedly difficult. However, Stallone approached these challenges the same way he had approached every obstacle in his life, by refusing to give up. Rather than dwelling on disappointment, he focused on creating new opportunities. He continued writing, producing, and developing projects even when success seemed uncertain. His willingness to keep working during this period demonstrated the same persistence that had carried him through his earliest struggles. Once again, he proved that resilience is often more important than temporary success or failure, personal loss, and lasting strength. While professional challenges tested Stallone's determination, personal loss brought an entirely different kind of struggle. The passing of his son Sage in 2012 was an unimaginable tragedy that deeply affected him and his family. Like any parent facing such a loss, Stallone experienced profound grief and reflection. During this difficult period, he relied on family, work, and the support of those closest to him. Although grief never fully disappears, he gradually found ways to move forward while honoring his son's memory. This chapter of his life revealed a different side of the man many knew only as an action hero. It showed his humanity, vulnerability, and emotional strength. Through difficult circumstances, Stallone continued working and creating, demonstrating that resilience is not about avoiding pain, but learning how to carry it while continuing to live with purpose and hope. A legacy built on perseverance. Today, Sylvester Stallone's legacy extends far beyond movie screens. His story is not simply about fame or financial success. It is about perseverance, self-belief, and the courage to keep moving forward when success seems impossible. From a young man struggling to be taken seriously to a global icon whose characters inspired generations, Stallone's journey remains one of the most remarkable stories in entertainment history. His life reminds us that obstacles do not define a person's future. What matters is how we respond to them. Whether through Rocky's determination, Rambo's resilience, or his own personal experiences, Stallone has consistently demonstrated the value of persistence. Decades after his breakthrough, his story continues to inspire people facing challenges of their own. In the end, his greatest achievement may not be the films he created, but the example he set, that setbacks are temporary, opportunities can emerge from unexpected places, and sometimes the greatest victory is simply refusing to quit.